So I wish I could say we're going to take the Tenere out for rip today, but sadly it's missing the ECU. I just mailed it off to Two Wheel Dyno Works in Washington yesterday, and there's still a good amount of salt on the road anyhow, so probably best to leave it here anyway, and we'll take out the XL250R, if I can get it started, that is. It hasn't been ran in almost a year since my kicking foot got all busted up last year, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully she'll fire up.
So I actually purchased this bike long before I even knew what a Tenere 700 looked like. I think I had owned my KLR for maybe like a season and had just kind of decided that I really didn't have a good enough grasp of how to ride a bike off-road. And learning on that big green pig was a little bit much for me. I'm 5'10", like 160 pounds, and between the seat height and the 430 pounds that the KLR weighed, it was just a little bit nerve-wracking if you're kind of in the position I was looking at a Tenere or have recently purchased a Tenere and are finding that it's a little bit too much off-road. I think buying a bike like this, I think just like it helped me back when I had the KLR, I think would definitely help out you just the same. And to be honest, I mean, obviously I've kept this bike all the way through the KLR ownership and now into the Tenere, and I am looking at getting rid of it, but it's not to just have the Tenere be my sole motorcycle. I do plan on switching this out for something very similar, but with a little bit more power and maybe a little bit higher seat height. Not necessarily because I want it that way, just because the bikes that I'm looking at come that way. But I mean, this bike, obviously, as you can see, is definitely a little bit less nerve-wracking to ride around than a big, expensive ATV bike. The Tenere 700, woo, has already more than proven itself off-road for me. I mean, if you guys have seen some of my other videos, I mean, that thing is a monster off-road, and it is a lot better than the KLR 650 was. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but that is my opinion. It is much better off-road than the KLR was. However, I don't want to ride the Tenere when there's salt on the road, and I also don't really enjoy sticking the Tenere in the bed of a truck. I've done that a couple times, and it's not much fun. It's a little nerve-wracking. So having something that's more like a bicycle is a little bit easier to handle for stuff like that. There are also some awesome new single track areas that opened up in my area, and that's definitely something that I want to learn to do better and to do more of. But I don't think the Tenere is a good bike to learn that on, and maybe some of you guys could handle a Tenere on those. I definitely could not, and probably will not ever attempt to. But it's definitely a bike that can perform off-road very well. As far as on-road goes, pretty much the whole majority of the time that my 2-inch fishtail there, yeah, look at me. Pretty much the whole time that I own the KLR 650, I always kind of missed having a road bike. Now that I own the Tenere 700, I do not miss my sport bikes anymore, and I do not miss the couple cruisers that I had at all. That bike is just an absolute joy to ride on the pavement. I've never enjoyed getting up to my intense off-road trails up north any more than I have with the Tenere 700. The KLR could always do it, for sure. There are people that go on way bigger trips than I will ever take on my Tenere on a KLR 650, and they just eat up the miles on them. Not really for me, though. I enjoy having the Tenere because it's a lot more like a sport bike. I mean, it's got an engine right out of a sport bike, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love about that machine. And I would say that in general, I think most people are going to find that they do not need a road bike in conjunction with the Tenere 700. However, I mean, if you're looking at crossing continents and stuff, and you want something that's that's a little bit more designed to do that. I mean, obviously there is a time and a place for an Africa Twin and for, you know, the big BMWs, and hey, maybe even the Pan America. Whoa! Look at that slush. For me personally, though, I will not ever have to look at another road bike again. I mean, unless I, for some reason, decide that I need a big, you know, bagger or something like that. I don't imagine that happening anytime soon. But other than that, as far as like a more roadworthy adventure style bike, for me, absolutely not. Hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. If it was, make sure and let me know down in the comment box below. Otherwise, if you got any questions, let me know down there too. I will try to get back to you. I read every comment. I try to answer back as many of them as I can. Might take a week or two, so I definitely apologize for that. But I definitely love hearing from you guys. And woo! And when the roads clear up a bit more, and actually they were probably salt-free enough that I honestly could have taken the Tenere 700 today. So maybe that'll be coming soon. But I will be putting a video out every weekend, hopefully all on the Tenere 700, unless I pick up something a little bit more interesting to ride other than this. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see those videos. Otherwise, take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out and enjoy this beautiful world. Otherwise, if you can't, then check out some more videos at the top. Thanks for watching, guys.